Now, we laid out some pretty severe objects that you definitely shouldn't accidentally pick up at a yard sale in our first part of this video, but as we all have slowly begrudgingly realised, that mysterious science fiction hive of horror known as the SCP Foundation has a near infinite supply of anomalous objects and entities that we should all collectively try and avoid, even if they are fictional. Sorry, I've already said too much. Hello horror fans and welcome back to the Scary channel on YouTube, top 5 scary videos. As always, I'll be your horror host Jack Finch as we step into the endless warehouse of anomalous inventory, check off a few points on our stock list before gasping and realising that something is amiss as we curiously take a look at the top 5 cursed SCP items you should never come in contact with. Part 2. That's a mouthful. Roll the clip.
Nice place. Wow.
For the curious amongst you, that clip was from 2002's Men in Black 2 because, if I'm being honest, I'm running out of footage to portray a secret, shadowy, highly advanced anomalous organisation. There's not much more to it really, clutching at straws. Kicking us off at number 5, SCP-914. Because when you think about it, the possibilities for destruction are endless when applied to SCP-914. As the record states, 914 is classified as a safe object and all research staff at the Foundation are actually free to test it with approval, although no biological organisms or explosives are allowed to be tested because, well, you'll see why. 914 is a large clockwork device weighing several tons and covering an area of 18 square meters. It is comprised of screwdrives, belts, pulleys, gears, springs, and other clockwork consisting of over 8 million tin and copper moving parts. Its two main components, however, are labelled intake and output. Essentially, when any object is placed in the intake booth, a small bell sounds and SCP-914 will refine the said object, resulting in a brand new item that is somehow intrinsically related to the other. Technically, under the right circumstances, SCP-914 could create an object of such immense power that nothing in the Foundation's resources could combat it. Oh, and also, it works on humans and biological matter, which can potentially end up creating terrifying humanoid entities hell-bent on destruction. What you put in it, you get out. Just like life, really. Coming in next at number 4, SCP-117, which actually is incredibly similar to SCP-914, although this one is a little bit more intuitive, shall we say. The item in question appears to be a regular multi-tool of unknown make and brand, found in an unknown location at the unspecified time in Florida, of all places. All the weird stuff seems to happen there. At first glance, only its normal tools are found, you know, the regular screwdriver, knife, can opener, but, and this is a very big but, if the user is faced with a task, regardless of what tool the subject intends to pull out and use, another tool perfectly fitted for the job will take its place. Seems awesome, right? But as the old adage goes, always be careful what you wish for. Just think about the implications of this object and you'll slowly get the picture of why it could potentially be so devastatingly powerful. If you walked up to a loose screw on a metal plate with SCP-117 in your hand, it'd reward you with a screwdriver, a piece of timber with proposed cut lines drawn, an electric saw which needs no outside power source, a dirty window, a nozzle that sprays a mixture of soap and water. Yet when you apply it to an unspeakably horrific criminal, it will produce a lethal injection. Essentially, it's the room of requirement from Harry Potter in its handy handheld form, except this one has its own sentient moral compass and it seems that it doesn't always point north. Next up at number 3, SCP-882. And what if metal was sentient? What if gears and cogs had malign motivations to take over the planet? Well, yeah, a question answered by the strange and bizarre amalgamation of objects known as SCP-882. But the thing is, there is much more to this object than first meets the eye. SCP-882 is a large mass of random metallic objects welded together, and if any metallic object of any kind touches this entity, it will fuse with it and permanently become a part of it. On top of that, if it gains enough momentum to make noise, anyone nearby listening to it will seek to add more metal to it. And this is where it was found, in an isolated coastal community at the northeast of Banks Island. The nearby area was barren of all metal and metallic ore in a 1-mile radius, and after the object had awakened and enticed the nearby population to do its bidding, essentially forming a cult around it before they all mysteriously disappeared. SCP-882 only stopped due to it being partly submerged in seawater, causing it to rust and become inactive, which is how it is contained by the Foundation currently. If you know anything about the wider universe of the SCP Foundation, you'll also know that this object is tied into the Church of the Broken God, which is a whole different story and an idea so vast that we'll probably have to do an entire video on it. Sorry. Swinging in next at number 2, SCP-271. Again, I know we said we'd cover an entire video about the Church of the Broken God, but we've got to talk about the object that they're most fervent to steal from the Foundation's warehouse, SCP-271. Why? Because most of these objects are actually the components needed to rebuild McCain, the Broken God, and SCP-271 is perhaps the most powerful piece of the puzzle. As the record states, SCP-271 is a small disc made from an unknown material that is metallic in nature. Engraved on it are a number of symbols that represent an unknown alphabet, although there is currently no known way to actually confirm this. What makes this anomalous object so dangerous is that the symbols engraved on it are infectious to their environment over time, gradually appearing as if invisibly carved into nearby objects. They are capable of escaping through any hole, however small, infecting objects and organisms through an unknown process. Objects that carry the symbols for a sufficient amount of time begin to be changed on a molecular level to the exact same material as SCP-271 in an excruciatingly painful process to biological organisms. If SCP-882 is the mechanical heart of the Broken God, then SCP-271 is its brain, albeit a brain that is infectious and capable of causing massive amounts of destruction given enough time. Spooky stuff. And finally, our number 1 spot, SCP-2700. And now we're getting into the big guns of the SCP Foundation, as in the actual big guns, the things that make other things go boom. Stock for stock, this is probably the most insanely powerful object in the entirety of the Foundation's possession. As the record states, SCP-2700 is a complex mechanical device believed to be a sophisticated directed energy weapon developed by the one, the only Serbian physicist and inventor, Nikola Tesla. Yes, as in the Nikola Tesla. On the surface, the Foundation portrays this object as merely an ingenious relic left over from the inventor's legacy. But in reality, SCP-2700 is a weapon of such immense power that it is believed if it's fired, the universe itself will cease to exist. Yeah, that's pretty serious stuff. It is thought that it's down to the third component of this device, SCP-2700 Omega, the weapon's energy source, which is a discrete energy phenomena that behaves inversely with regards to entropy. There's a lot of science to it, but in layman's terms, if you fire this weapon, the energy inside of it would spread in a chain reaction, converting the rest of the universe to its inverted entropic state. In even simpler terms, it would cause a reverse Big Bang, destroying all matter and potentially, hopefully, restart the universe. So yeah, I don't want to find out. Don't pull the trigger, please. Well, there we have it, horror fans, our second part of the top 5 cursed SCP items you should never come in contact with. What do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Before we depart, let's read out some of your more terrifying comments from over the past few days. Little Shop of Eldritch Horrors says, "Hey Jack, could we see the tat on your arm in full, and do you have any more?" Well, considering that you asked so nicely, yes, you can. There you go. And yes, I do, but those ones are secret, so I'll keep them for me. Next up, Joseph Upchurch says, "Hey Jack, if they made a Lovecraft biopic, who should they cast as the man himself?" And that is a great question. I want more questions like this. That's a tough one. I'm probably going to change my mind somewhere down the line, but my gut instinct is Adam Driver. He's one of my favourite actors going right now, and I just think his unique style would perfectly capture Lovecraft's quirk. He's also got the voice, so yeah. Great question. Well, there we have it, folks. Just sticking around all the way until the end. If you're a fan of this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button as well as that subscribe bell, and we'll be seeing you in the next one. As per usual, I've been your horror host, Jack Finch. You've been watching Top 5 Scary Videos, and until next time, you take it easy.